Hello again, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Deni Kay, here today with a bottle of Glenfarclas 105, 60% ABV, completely matured in sherry casks out of Glenfarclas distillery. What more could one ask for, right? Now, I do promise that I'll keep this rather short and sharp. We're going to go through smell, taste, overall experience, give it a score, go from there. I've spoken about Glenfarclas in detail in a previous video, so I'm not going to do that today because in my last video on the Springbank 12-year-old, the older one, I did say I'd keep the video short and sharp. I probably went over time, so today I'm going to absolutely stay true to my word. If you are a returning viewer, you've joined me before, then you probably would have seen the video I did on the 21 and 40-year-old Glenfarclas, which I spoke about the distillery and some of the history. If you're joining me for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button, the like button, all of those lovely things. Now, we'll talk about this one in a little bit of detail as we go through the experience. So, to kick it off, the nose. Now, we did say 60% ABV. So, the reason it's called Glenfarclas 105 is because British proof of 105 comes down to 60% ABV. I will say the nose is rather approachable. A pinch, but it's not taking your face off there with that strength. Now, nuts, yes, absolutely typical sherry notes coming through. So raisins, some prunes, some dried fig as well. Absolutely. There is some bitter oak there. There is some chocolate. Yes, some nougat. Absolutely lovely. A little bit of citrus. It's just that creamy vanilla caramel notes coming through on the end there as well. Really lovely nose. A little bit of cherry. Okay, now, bits of bitter oak, the chocolate, the dried fruits, some cherry, citrus, some spice as well. Yes, absolutely big on those chocolate notes. It's almost like a cherry choc. Absolutely fantastic. Now, come through to the finish, the dried fruits, some spice, maybe a little bit of bergamot, tea. It is a medium to long length. That spice just keeps on rolling down to the tip of your tongue. Really lovely whiskey. I said 60% ABV. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. Now, doesn't say anything about color, non-chill filtration, but as soon as you put water in there, you see it go misty. You know that these guys are quality producers. There's no color in this. It hasn't been chill filtered. It's a non-age statement, but we're talking about whiskey. Look, it's going to be from anything that you read out there up to 10 years old. So we might say it's 100% sherry cask whiskey. Glenfarclas used predominantly Oloroso style sherry. So there might be some first fill, younger stuff in there, and then some refill sherry casks up to 8, 9, 10 years old. There was a 22, even a 40-year-old age statement on a 105. You go and have a look at that 40-year-old now at auction. The prices have gone. A true collector's whiskey, especially in years to come. The 22-year-old is still at a relatively decent price, all things considered. So anyway, you can go you can go and check that out. Let's check out what water has done to this. Now, some biscuits on the nose. It is rather creamier, yes, absolutely. Nuts, yes, the chocolate, fantastic on the nose, but I think really what's happened to this with a little bit of water is could probably spend a little bit of time with it now, but the heat that was there, a tiny bit of it, has really taken a back seat. That bit of bitter oak has really died down now as well. And it's really opened up for the dried fruits and a little bit of citrus to come through on the nose. Really, really digging it. That nougat is fantastic on the nose. A little bit of water really does do this wonders. Really fruity. Now, chocolate is absolutely fantastic on this. What I will say is that you'll hear me in previous videos for sherry matured whiskey, because I do love whiskey that has spent time in sherry casks. You know, old school style sherry where it's dusty or musty and, leather books, cigars, those types of notes. It's that really dense, rich style, intense sherry, just your really typical sherry bomb. And then what I call that contemporary style sherry. So really bright, confectionery almost sherry, fairy floss, and your red snakes and all that sort of stuff as well. This here is not your confectionery style. It is a little bit of the old school and a little bit of the sherry bomb. It is a very, very, very good whiskey. It is priced really rather well. In my opinion, Glenfarclas is still, I don't want to say undervalued, but the prices are still very good. They have jumped up a little bit, and what I have also noticed is that there is a 35-year-old Glenfarclas coming out in the market, if that hasn't already happened where you are. And the price of that is where the 40-year-old was about a year or two ago. So I hope that that doesn't mean that the 40-year-old is going to be discontinued, because I really do think that the 40-year-old is a phenomenal whiskey, and they probably don't need something sitting between the 30 and the 40. So we will see what happens. I guess we can stay tuned for that. Now, I did say that I'm going to keep this rather short and sharp. So what I will say is this whiskey is a 7.5 out of 10 every single day of the week. You'll know that for me, that is a very, very, very good score. This really does bat above its price point. So if you've tried it before, you would already know that. And if you haven't, you should absolutely go out there and get a bottle. This is a 1 litre bottle. By the time I add a little bit of water to it as I go along, I'm really getting my money's worth, right? So whichever way you want to look at it, it is absolutely worth every single dollar that I've spent on this. So I will leave it there. As I said earlier, if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to do so. Hit the like button. That way you can join me again next week. I appreciate the time that you've taken to join me today. So thank you very much indeed. Cheers to you. Till next time.